Welcome back to Above the Line, 12 rounds with Geoff Frazer. Geoff, this round is going to be about mindset, and it's funnily enough, just during the break there, I just watched you give somebody 101 question interrogation before you allow them to come into the gym. Tell us a little bit about that and why you have such a high standard in the gym.
Well, essentially what I tell everyone, not everyone can train in my gym. I say they have to get through my challenge first, and then that pretty much tells me whether they've got the right mindset, they can do those three things. And I tell everyone, this is not a fitness gym.
Yeah.
Like all the other gyms have got box fit and they do that. And I'm like, man, I'm not a cheerleader. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to teach you the art of boxing.
Yeah.
And to do that, I need you to be able to show up, listen, work hard.
Yeah.
And essentially what I do is I put them through a challenge. Some do my pro challenge, some do my amateur challenge. Essentially it's an incentivized thing where some get the whole shebang, where they get pad work, meal plans, strength plans. They get the whole lot, which a pro fighter would have.
Yeah.
Or they just do what the amateurs would do, where it's more about just boxing and fitness.
Yeah.
And then the fitness element is I'll tell them what to do outside of the gym or inside the gym.
Yeah.
They've got to execute on that. They've got to pass my challenge, and they get to reinvest their money back into their future training.
Yeah, I love that. Which brings me to the first question of this. What do you believe mentally it takes to become a world champion?
Mentally, he's become a world champion. Well, I got Maxie, who's a world youth champion, so he's not the real deal champ yet, but I think it's mindset, man. It's about you're not too far in the future. You obviously got your vision in the future.
Yeah.
But you're actually in the now. Like you're actually mentally, you're focused. You're not thinking about your fucking argument with your missus. You're not thinking about you're present in that point in time. You're focused.
Yeah.
Mindset has been focused.
Yeah. So presence is a big thing. You don't like people being distracted.
Nah, because people will be too far ahead. They're thinking too far ahead. They're already thinking about what they're going to do after their fight.
Yeah.
They're thinking about the post-fight after party. So, no, you've got to be in the moment right now.
Yeah.
Because if you're in the moment, you're seeing everything. You're slipping. You're in that. You're in the zone. Essentially.
Yeah.
So and then you're in the right mental state. You're in the right state of awareness, and then
flow state.
Flow state. Yeah. All systems go. You're in that state. Everything's going to work for you, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, so you've already kind of answered one of my next question by saying that not looking too far ahead and being present is a massive thing. But what is a false belief that you come across quite often, or a belief that fighters have about themselves that you have to always overcome to help them get to the next level of their career?
This is a good one. I think a lot of fighters think their go-to is going to work every time.
Yeah.
I'm a big puncher. So they're loading up.
Yeah.
They're fighting like you saw today. They're fighting like a gorilla. And they think that's going to win in the fight. This is boxing. The end of the game, it's a chess match in there. It's like, okay, he might take away your best attribute. What other attributes have you got that can get you over that hurdle to win?
Yeah.
So it's the ability to adapt. To overcome those hurdles in there and be able to, execute your game plan. Your plan A, B, C, or D, or whatever it is. You've got to be able to adapt into whatever the opponent's put in front of you.
And do you find that most of the guys that you train have the ability to do that, like in terms of they listen, follow your instructions, and they have that ability to keep that memory bank of skills you've given them and adapt during the fight?
Over time, yeah. Over time, yeah, they do. Early on, no. Early on, because it's a process. Becoming a well-rounded boxer, some guys will be good at certain attributes. Some guys will be better at others. Like no one fighter is the same. They'll learn, but over time, they'll just start to develop their skill set where they can fight anywhere, anytime. They'll have the ability to overcome those things, but that's a process.
Yeah.
That takes a long time to get to that. And as I said, some fighters are fast, some fighters are powerful, some fighters are more tactical. It depends on the individual, but eventually once they become a more well-rounded boxer, they'll adapt to many styles.
Yeah.
They'll face different shapes, sizes, lefty, righty, all that sort of stuff. It's the ability to adapt.
Yeah.
So,
what tip would you give somebody who you see is constantly using the same toolkit? Say it's power, that's what they've got. What advice would you give to them for that? Is it just like don't practice it so much, or?
No, I look at it and go, I think be adaptable. What will work for one won't work for another.
Yeah.
If your go-to is working, and eventually people are going to understand that that's your go-to, and then they'll look at ways to disarm that and take that away. So you've got to have some other tools in the kit.
Yeah.
You got to be able to, with this sport, you've got to be able to fight everywhere.
Yeah.
You got to be able to. You got to be good on the inside. You got to be good on the outside. You got to be able to take away their weapons.
Yeah.
So it's the ability to get to disarm them and find a way to win.
Yeah, you find that a lot. Like I see, I've seen a few talented boxers along the way that have this "if it's not broken, don't fix it" mindset, where they're having success early on doing these things, and I'm like, I explain that, like, you have to understand that there's somebody out there that has the answer to this problem, and if you're not at some point in your training practicing some other skill, you are going to come up short.
Oh, they'll come unstuck, and all of a sudden that strength that they've got, all of a sudden they haven't developed their other skills in other areas, and all of a sudden they're like, and all of a sudden they've got no answer. Yeah. And then all of a sudden they're drowning. Yeah. And they don't know what to do, and they're looking and they're saying, you should have done
I think you even see it I think this is something that you can see. You can see world class. Canelo Alvarez is a perfect example. I know this sounds silly, but he's almost a one-trick pony. He's just so amazing at his little skill set, but you know what I mean?
It works so well to an extent, and then he gets up against someone like Crawford.
Doesn't have the ability to
just disarms him. Mate, if he just had a more variation in jab and set things up, like, I'm not saying I'm the master here, but I'm sitting there going, like, Crawford had an answer.
It's the curse of having a freakish talent in one area. Is you can just get caught up in that, and
then all of a sudden you got no go to, and then all of a sudden it's like you get disarmed, you get taken away, and you eventually you get schooled.
yeah, exactly, man. And it was a boxing lesson. I don't get what anyone says. That was artwork. That was an incredible performance.
And it's like you can be influenced by the commentators and that. And, it's closer. Then you watch it again without the commentary. And you watch what Crawford did. He dissected him, took away his best attributes. It's what Mayweather did to him as well.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly. Whose performance do you rate higher?
Mayweather's.
I agree. I think that I agree. I think that Mayweather had a better version of Canelo in front of him.
I think he did. I think Canelo got to a point where he was destroying these guys, and he's like that big. It was working against, I guess, they're world champions, but they were B level.
Yes,
to your A level, like your Crawfords and Mayweather's. I thought Mayweather's was more of a stellar performance, and I thought it was a better version of Canelo.
Yeah, I agree.
So a lot of people say, "Oh no," but then it's like, my hand said, Crawford's great. Don't get me wrong, but I look at it and go, Crawford fought a good fight, but I look at it and go, Canelo still landed better shots on him. And I look at that Canelo and I go, no, I think the younger Canelo was better.
It always makes me laugh when people are like, but Canelo was so raw. I'm like, he was like 50-0. Two-weight world champion. Like, what are you talking about? He was a novice. He was like beat Shane. He'd already beaten Shane Mosley. I'm like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
He's a
exactly
novice.
Right. Everyone will never give Mayweather his pays dues. They'll never, because I guess they're all haters. But he just took away their best attributes. I'm like, that was a much stellar performance in my eyes. That's why I went, how good is this guy?
I couldn't agree more. Back to mindset. What is the biggest mental battle that you personally have had to overcome in or out of the sport of boxing, and how did you do it, and what did you change? Patience? I want everything to happen yesterday. And that's the thing, I've sort of pushed things a little bit too much. So that's my probably thing, is learning to be more patient, which boxers can utilise as well. So does this circle back to what you said about what the key attribute you think fighters need, which is being present?
Yep.
Like you're
going to get too far ahead of yourself. And it's like, it's easy to do. Everything's working. You want to be a world champ yesterday. And I'm like, no, just take your time, learn your craft. Even the business of boxing. Understand the business of boxing. My thing is to be patient. Take your time. Take care of your body. Even with business, be patient.
What is it that taught you this? Like, obviously, if you're saying that you lacked patience in the past, how is it that this evolved, and where did you become the person you are today?
I guess with business, I'm not saying I'm killing it in business or whatever, but I'm like going too hard too soon, pushing too much money into certain things, not being patient, and then trying to get here when you're really here. And that's one thing I'm learning, and in life as well, like, you got to be patient. And I'm 40 now. Not saying I'm an old soul or anything like that.
Mate, we're babies in the game.
I'm a baby in the game, but also just life lessons I've learned of being patient. That's what my one take from it is. Learn to be patient. Take your time. Don't be too far here or too far back here. It's just, you got to be present
in the moment, man.
In the moment, man. That's it.
Couldn't agree more. You kind of destroyed my next question with that answer, because it was such a good answer, which is, if you went back in time and gave yourself advice, what would you do from the mental aspect? So,
just learn to be more present, be more patient. Like I've had a few tough life lessons along the way, because.
Can you tell us a bit about one of them, or is it?
Just pretty harsh divorce. A few things where I was like, I was sitting there going, but because I was too far in the future, and then also wasn't present in the moment. So all of a sudden it's like, and just not really. Not being present. So and I've learnt the hard way.
It's a battle that I personally have as well, where I live in the future, and even like you said, sometimes even the past, where you're thinking about past mistakes, or you're not where you want to be, and it's like, even if you know you're going to get there, if you knew that you were going to be exactly where you want to be in 10 years' time, would you choose to skip this next 10 years, or would you enjoy the next 10 years? Because you only got one life.
No, exactly right. You got to live in the moment, and you got to be okay. Well, as I said, those life lessons that I've learned through business and through personal relationships and all that sort of stuff, it's like you got to learn how to just be in the now. Enjoy the moment, because it'll pass, and before you know it, it's gone. It's like, oh, you're living too far. Like, oh, that fucked over. I got this, I got that, and all of a sudden you're not there, and then the people that you're with now are suffering. That's my life lessons.
In and out of boxing.
It's a well. Let's just say boxing is such a good teacher, but also so those life lessons I could have learned through boxing. I didn't implement myself, so I had to learn the hard way. And now it's like, okay, now I'm living these steps, and being a little bit older, being understanding, it's living in the now. That's
Do you think that? Is it something that you think that these lessons that you've had to learn the hard way from making the mistakes is what makes you the coach you are today?
I think so. I think so. Like learn these hard lessons. It's like, well, you have to learn these things. You have to, like, as my old man said, he goes, "Fuck," he goes, "mate, I told you this a while ago." He goes, "You just had it done." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, but I had to learn it my way." And that's what I say. Even I send some of my other fighters, like, they've had to learn the hard way, and because they didn't listen. But I'm like, obviously, that's their journey. They've got to learn. But I can give them the tools. I can give them the advice. But it's all of a sudden, I told you so.
Yeah, mate. I was on a podcast once, and I was talking exactly about that. Like, I look back and I'm like, what would I have changed about my life? And is just listen to my dad. So many mistakes when my dad's like, this is how that's going to play out. Just do that.
Told ya. And I'm like, and it's like, but those life lessons we've got to learn. And it's like, no one can tell you how to do it or when to do it or how to do it. You just got to go through that journey yourself. Some are lucky enough they'll take that advice and they'll live in the they'll learn. And that's one thing I've got to give props to young Maxie. He's a 20-year-old kid, no, 21-year-old now, but he's a switched on kid, and he's always present.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, is there a fight that stands out in that sense? That's amazing. Like, 21 years old, and he's already wise enough to be in the moment and enjoy every second. Mate, watching him spar earlier, like, you can tell he loves being in the gym.
He loves the process. He loves everything about it. He's not, that's one thing I got to give the kid props. The kid, he's not a kid, he's a man now. But I got to give him props. Like, he's always been in the moment. He's always been present. He's not too far. He's worried about this, worried about that. Or he's just here.
Do you think that you've learned things from seeing guys like that in the gym, and do you pick things up off your fighters as well?
Oh, definitely. I look at it and goes, someone can walk in the gym that's never done anything right, wrong, and then you can learn off that person. I think my approach to everything is you can learn something off everybody. There's no one way of doing it. There's no my way, your way. There's no this way or the highway. I think that's the thing in the past. I look at it and go, it's the ability to, you just be adaptive. Just be there and go, be present and go, oh, that's cool. I can utilise that. That doesn't work. Try this out, try that out. What works for one won't work for another. So they're my life lessons that I've learnt, and I'm like, I'm not saying I'm the guru or whatever, but it's you learn stuff along the way and go, and then then you forget things along the way too. And then you go, hang on a sec, you know why? Because I was too far. I was too far gone. Now I'm not here. That's my advice. It's
a shame. There's so many, like, we miss so much of our life being in our own heads.
And then the other thing is these things. So I'll be honest, that was a problem because of so much business. But now I'm like, all right, I've got to learn how to just set some boundaries with it, put it away, put these things away. This is your time to coach. This is your time to be present with your partner, or your friends, or whatever. Put that fucking thing away.
Being present, man. It's exactly. Funnily enough, I was going to talk to you about that as well. Like, how boxing is a metaphor for life. There's so many things that we learn in the gym and through our experiences of boxing that if you apply to the rest of your life, it's going to set you up.
There's so many old sayings about boxing is life to me. And I'm like, sometimes you're in a bad spot, you can roll with the punches.
Exactly.
It's like, because you realise, oh shit, you're up shit creek, you're in a bad way. It's like, just go with the flow, roll with the punches, and I guarantee you'll come out. You'll come out okay. You come out unscathed, hopefully. A few little battle wounds, little scars, but you'll be okay in the end.
I love that, man. The life coach as well as the boxing coach. Beautifully said. To finish this round up, another big one, a bold pick, Pacquiao versus Duran.
Oh, I love Duran. I look at Duran, I think he's the top 5 all-time greats. At lightweight?
Sorry, I wrote lightweight as well. At lightweight.
Duran.
Because
Pacquiao was, I don't know, don't want to say too much, but there's a lot of rumours around Pacquiao's career and the way he went through, and it's like, I look at it and go, I just think he made some fundamental errors and things like that. I just think Duran had the style. Mate, if he could go up to super middleweight and do what he did, at lightweight, I just think he's just another beast. And like there's no Duran, there is no Mike Tyson, there is no Floyd Mayweather. Yeah. Duran was like people got to. He's one of the greats.
I think that people forget that because Pacquiao's biggest fights were at the heavyweights. I don't think people realise that his best weight was probably the featherweights and below, like the Barrera days, and that was when he was really.
And like, he struggled with a lot of these guys, and he got the nod on some of these fights. Was I thought, no, I don't think he won some of those ones.
Yeah.
Like, look, you know,
Marquez. Marquez won.
There's Marquez. There's who else was there? There's a couple other fights where he says trilogies, and I'm like, you know, I look at it and go, yeah, Pacquiao's a great. Yeah. But I look at it and go, no, he was having those fights with those kind of guys. Duran at like
it's hard to look past. He's one of the few people who you look at and like, you know, that I'm a person who believes that boxing evolves, but you can pluck certain fighters out who could have just been dropped in today and be superheroes, and he's one of them guys who's just he's just a freak of nature that not just a once in a lifetime, once ever kind of fighter.
He's to me, like, his skills are second to none, and without Duran there wouldn't be some of these things at the pool counter. That was Duran.
Yeah.
You know, like, you watch these guys that, like, I'm not a boxing enthusiast and I watch these guys, but I think Roberto Duran is skill set is second to none.
Yeah. And lastly, are you happy for the practical of this one to show us a couple of go-to core exercises that you believe all boxers should be doing?
Go-to core exercises? Yeah, of course.
Without punching me in the stomach.
Of course.
Awesome. Let's do it.
All right, easy one for I guess developing punch power and core strength. I'll get just a med ball throw. Simple, easy. I can do that many ways. I can be throwing. That's all core. It's all core. When I'm throwing a punch. Yeah. I'm twisting through my core. Easy way to develop good punch power.
Perfect. That was easy.